Selena. I had so much fun watching Boss Level, and I had so much fun watching Guan Yin.
Thank you. I love her.
Yeah, she was. I laughed every time. I was ready for your line, for your catchphrase.
Yeah, she just loves the sound of her own name after decapitating people.
And who would not? So my first question is just, how did you become involved in the project? How did you get on board?
So I was actually shooting a mini-series for Audi at the time, and I received this script. And I was going to take like a couple of days because I was filming and it was hectic to read it. And I remember like getting into bed, I was so tired, and I started reading it and I could not put it down. It was the most hilarious script, but with heart, that I'd ever read. And I remember like the next day for filming, I just had these terrible bags under my eyes. So yeah, then I put down a self-tape, and it was Zoom interviews and whatnot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the film is clearly like doesn't take itself seriously, and yet it has serious things to say, which is like a really great combination. So what was the aspect of it that stood out most to you, like the characters or the theme?
I think it was all of that. I mean, it's such incredible writing. And so, I mean, like on the surface, it's this, hilarious, larger than life action comedy. But at the core of it, it's a really touching story about a man who is in this unfortunate predicament where he's basically getting killed every day and needs to figure out why. But he's using that situation in order to reconnect with his ex-wife and his son, who actually was played by Frank Grillo's real son, Rio Grillo. Yeah.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I know. He did a great job.
Yeah,
he was a sweetheart.
He did do a great job. No wonder the chemistry was so strong.
Yeah.
But the chemistry was also strong for the two of you getting to replay your fight scenes every day.
It was a lot of fun.
What was it like to work with Frank Grillo? And also, like, how much do you choreograph it, or is it choreographed for you? Is there kind of, improv in how things change from one moment to the next?
So I was out in Atlanta ahead of time for training, and we had an incredible stunt team and choreographers. So they had like set things in place. And then I've also got a background in martial arts, so I could suggest things. But generally it was just like a lot of rehearsal, a lot of bruises.
Yeah, I can imagine. My gosh. But speaking of suggesting things, obviously we only get to see one day in the life of Guan Yin many times. But did you talk with Joe Carnahan, or even think to yourself where she's come from? Like, what did she do the day before?
Okay, so my theory in this, like whenever I get a character, I like to like create a full backstory, so I'm just really comfortable and I can know how she would act in any situation. And so my little backstory was that she actually really wanted to be an actress, but was just horrible. So it just turns out that she's really good at the whole killing people, violence, martial arts thing. So she essentially becomes an assassin. And for her, like, that's her moment in the spotlight. So like, I mean, you've seen the film. If you notice, like at the end of each kill, she goes like, she finds the camera. And what's really funny is that like the first time we did this, Joe was like, let's bring in a fan. And so every time I speak, for no reason, there's a fan going through my hair.
That's awesome.
She's just unhinged. She's a little crazy, but just so much fun.
But, she's ready to pose for her close-up. So I love that. I love that.
She's like, I can kill people and look good.
And she should. Now, obviously, you had a lot of fun playing the villain. But how different is this for you from previous roles? The approach to it, and then also the physical aspect of it.
Well, what was fun with this role was that Joe was very generous in that he basically said, like, feel free to improv. So like a lot of the lines would be like, either I've just thrown them out there or Joe's throwing a line at me. And then like, I've tried that. And so that was a really fun way to work, where it wasn't so set and you just have that freedom to bring yourself to it. So like as well, like when the character was, I initially read for it, she was, Asian, had an Asian accent. And then when I came on board, Joe was like, I want you to bring some of you and some of your humor and keep your accent. And that was great. So that was different. That was a cool approach.
Oh, that is great for sure. It definitely feels also just more, I don't know if the word is natural, but like, just because the character's Asian doesn't mean they have to have an Asian accent.
Yeah.
Gives you a whole sense of your own backstory, like you were just saying, because you only see one day. But for yourself as Selena, if you had to repeat one day, like you said, Roy spends it reconnecting with his son, even when
Yeah.
he's avoiding getting murdered. How would you spend your one day?
I was going to say maybe she would have invested in acting classes because she wanted to be an actress. But I think she's pretty happy with what she's doing now. So I think she just gets a real kick out of what she's doing and she enjoys it.
And you talked a little bit about Joe and how he lets you improv, which is really great. But he's also like everything, right? Director, writer, produces it. What is it like to watch him, wear all those hats?
So I was just a huge fan of Joe initially. Like that was a big draw to the project. Like his body of work is incredible. And he's actually become like one of my favorite people on the planet. Aside from the fact that he's a genius, he's like fundamentally like just one of the best human beings that I know. And the fact that he has this incredible talent with the directing, but also the writing. And producing. I mean, I can't say enough good things about him. And he just made it so fun on set. Like he would blast like the coolest tracks that I'd never even heard of beforehand and like during like the action scenes. And it just helps you like really get into character and you just feel like, yeah, I'm a badass. I can do this. I can just murder like all day long. Not that I condone murder in any way, shape or form.
And of course.
In the film.
Only in the fictional
setting. In the film, yes.
when there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, who's going to get mad at like no condoning violence?
Now this was actually filmed. How long ago was this? Because I feel like I remember there was a screening of it like a year ago.
yeah. So it was like a year and a half. I want to say year and a half, maybe a little over than that. Yeah. So it was tricky because of COVID and everything. I think it was initially supposed to have a theatrical, but then things have changed so much, and now like streaming has completely taken over. Like everyone's at home, and like I'm so happy that Boss Devil has found a home with Hulu because they create such great stuff like Palm Springs, A Handmaid's Tale. And I'm excited for people to like see it, and it's great because I feel like it's also going to get more people watching it. Definitely. And everyone works so hard, so
yeah, I can't wait for everyone to watch.
It got a home.
Perfect fit.
So it's a good laugh. Yeah, we could all do with a laugh right now. I know I could.
Definitely. So what's coming up next for you? Are you able to do anything in the COVID times?
So I had a couple of movies pushed and then I'm still casting, but we're hoping that those are going to go later this year. It's an interesting time. Like mainly I'm just at home alone with my fish. So I recently started taking up collecting fish.
Oh, wonderful.
They're harder to maintain than I would have thought.
Uh-oh. Well, yeah, I wish you and the fish the best.
Thank you.
I hope you're able to get cast and go out there and show your stuff so you can bring back the bacon for the fish. Thank you.